Right, application question. It looks like a triangle. Looks like Pythagoras' theorem. So these are ones where you've got to create your own equation, then use whatever technique really you want to. If you can factor, factor it. If you want to use completing the square, use completing the square. If you want to use the quadratic equation formula, use that. So 3 different ways of doing it. Okay. Right. So the quadratic equation formula is this. Okay, so I'm going to write x squared. A squared, remember a squared plus b squared equals c squared, plus one of the shorter sides squared plus the other one squared, so that's an x plus 5 all squared equals 7 squared. Okay, that is Pythagoras' theorem right there. Okay, that's it. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Remember, c is the longest side, the one opposite the right angle. So, if I do this, I've got x squared. Remember, please do not just square an x and square a 5. It is a FOIL. If I need to do it to one side, so it's an x plus 5 times x plus 5, which will give me x squared plus 10x, you do the FOIL, plus 25. Okay, that is what x plus 5 times x plus 5 equals. It's a FOIL. And that will now equal 49, 7 squared. Okay. So there we go, x squared, that's the first one. X plus 5 squared is all of this here, and then 49. Right, let's tot all this up. X squared plus x squared is 2x squared. I've got a 10x. Now then, if I want this equal to 0, which is how you're supposed to happen, remember, I'm going to have to take away 49 from both sides. Take away 49, okay? Gone, what's 25? Take away 49. What's 49 take away 25? 24, so minus 24. Okay? Now then, you look at this go, do I have to throw this into the quadratic equation formula? Can I factor it? Oh, hang on a minute, sorry. 10x, sorry. 10x. No, pull the 2 out first. Remember, anything, factoring, always look for a greatest common factor. This will turn into x squared plus 5x minus 12. Alright, and that will equal 0. Okay? Now remember, I pulled the 2 out. You don't really need it because, well, if I did, let's go back to the proper factoring. I pulled the 2 out, remember? So that's what that is. But if you divide both sides now by 2 to get rid of it, well, you're still going to have 0 on the other side. Okay, so you don't need it. Right. Here we go. 2 numbers that make negative 12 when you multiply, that make positive 5 when you add. There aren't any. Quadratic equation formula. Here we go. Negative b, negative 5, plus or minus the square root of b squared, 5 squared, which is 25. Plus, minus, okay, so 4 times 1 times negative 12, over here, so think about it, 4 times 1 times negative 12, well that's negative 48, isn't it? But remember, I'm subtracting, the whole equation has a minus in it, so I'm subtracting, I'm actually adding a 48, so I'm actually adding a 48, okay? And that's all over 2, just 2, remember, because it's a 1 in front, we actually managed to pull this out, we didn't actually need that there, alright, we made it simpler. Right, so what do I get for this? So that equals, let's try and squeeze it in, negative 5 plus or minus the square root of, now then, what's 25 plus 48? That's 73. And that's all over 2. Now here's a nice thing. You can't square root 73. That pretty much is the answer. Apart from the fact that the square root of, remember, there's only one answer to this. X is what's the distance. Okay? Now the square root of 73 is about 8 or 9. Alright? Now can you see this? Look, if I get the eraser here, the plus or, well that's a big eraser, the plus or minus, I'm going to go down here, you can't have the minus alright, because if I did, I'd have a negative answer. Negative 5, if I take away about 8.5, put the square root of 73 in your calculator, I'll end up with a negative number. No, okay? So I'm happy to leave it like that. If you want to put that in your calculator, what's negative 5 plus 8 point something, again, whatever the square root of 73 is, then divide it by 2. Just leave it like that. That's all we need, alright? All I'm saying is there's only one answer to this, because it's a proper answer. Alright, I can't really have a minus answer for a distance. So negative 5 plus the square root of 73 over 2 is fine. That's it. Okay?